Hey everybody, welcome back here to A Place to Heal. All right, so today's video, I'm not wearing any makeup because it's actually about face yoga. I had one of my followers contact me and say, hey Marie, can you do me a favor and do a video on face yoga? If you're a face yogi, please do not come at me, okay? Because this is just my personal opinion. I have actually looked into face yoga, I'd say about 3 years now, okay? Because of course, as you get older, you want to keep your face looking nice, okay? So before we get started on any of that face yoga, I just want to say a few things. Number one, taking care of your face needs to start in your 20s, not in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. You need to get a face regimen in your 20s, early 30s at the latest. You have to protect yourself, use some sort of sunscreen, zinc-based, whatever you want that's not toxic, something to protect you from the sun. Hats, when I'm out in the garden, I'm wearing my hat. The whole bit. You just don't want sun damage on your face, okay? That's number one. And using, something good on your face to cleanse it and all that stuff, it has to start early on. Second of all, your genes have a lot to do with it. So if you have bad genes, I don't care. You can do all the face yoga till you are blue in the face. It ain't gonna help if your genes are not good genes. I was very lucky where, the genes in my family are awesome when it comes to that. The women in my family and even the men in my family look very young, even into a much older age, into their 70s, right? Brothers, fathers, uncles, the whole bit, 70 years old and they still look like in their 50s. So I've always had real good genes as far as that, which is a blessing and it's also a curse, especially if you're single. Let me tell you, let me just go there. All right, so that's another thing that's very, very, very important is your genes. And like I said, you can do face yoga they can tell you to do face yoga till you're blue in the face. It's just not, okay? Last but not least, before I get into the face yoga thing, is what you put into your body, right? There's certain, lack of protein, of course, is going to diminish you. Lack of collagen, a lack of vitamin A. So if you're lacking certain vitamins and minerals, it's gonna show up on your face. You're gonna see the wrinkles. You're going to see, I see some people where it looks like their face is just like this. It's just like melting. It looks like they're a candle, right? And they have all the loose skin underneath their eyes and, on their chin and just everywhere, under here and even here and all the crepey skin and stuff. That's not normal. That's just not normal. Okay, all this stuff is your body screaming out to you, hey, I don't have the nutrients that it takes to support me, right? So if this is melting, if this is crepey, that's also going on inside, internally, right? So this is why you see people that have prolapsed bowels or they have to have hernia surgeries, right? Because this is all stuff that's also falling on the inside. If you're not tight on the outside, you're not gonna be tight on the inside either. So these are all issues. All right, so let me get into the face yoga. Don't kill me. All right, so one of the things that I loved, and I actually ordered it, and my granddaughter somehow took it thinking it was a play toy, and I have no idea. I was going to show it to you guys, but it's one of those mouthpieces, right? And you put it in your mouth and you sit there and you squeeze on it and it does this, right? So you can sit there and while you're doing it, you can be watching TV, and I would just sit there and do that, and it does help. It does tighten. That is one of the things that I did find that actually worked. Once again, all these videos, links are going to be underneath the video if you're interested in any of this stuff. So the mouth exerciser is one of the things that I did find that did work. I've been doing face yoga for like 3 years, and there's a lot of stuff that just does not work. You know, even with as good as I eat, and even with my gene pool and everything else, I can tell you it's a waste of time, because a lot of these people that are getting the results are people that you have to be consistent. I mean, you have to be diligent, right? So they're going to show you these people that, wow, look, little did this woman tell you that she was just like frantic about her looks, and she was doing face yoga 15 times a day, you know, and she was consistent for 8 months straight to take that picture. But what's going to happen is no different than, you know, when you weight lift. You know, it takes a while for you to build the muscle. It takes a while for you to get that tightness. And then if you quit going to the gym, it's gonna all go right back down the pooper, right? So the same thing. I mean, this woman can invest 8 months really working at, because you're working muscle, right? And you're building this muscle to support your face and everything else. And then you're like, ooh, great, I look good now. And then you stop, and it's all going to deteriorate again, because that muscle is going to go away, just like any other muscle that you don't work, right? So this is something that once you start, you're going to have to keep up. Okay, so that's why I'm not too in love with it. So one of the things that I can tell you that really does work for your face is cold water. Okay, there is nothing better than starting your morning by splashing your water, and I do every single morning. That is how I start my morning. I use a really good borage oil soap, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Borage oil soap, I wash my face, and I use the coldest water I can possibly stand for 2 reasons. Number one, it's going to shrink those pores, right? It's going to give you that really nice, pretty complexion. And second of all, it's going to help your vagus nerve. It helps calm you down. It helps, your nervous system. So I love the cold water thing first thing in the morning. As far as borage soap, borage has a lot of, great oils in it. And there are certain oils that borage oil does have that helps, not only with adrenal fatigue, if you take it internally. So I have this one, right? It's borage oil. So not only if you take it internally, but also if you use it on your face. So I use this one, which is actually a dry skin lotion, right? It's borage, but it's exceptional. I'm going to show you right now. And it's an exceptional moisturizer, right? You put it on your face, and I use it at night before I go to bed. And I use it in the middle of the afternoon after I come back from the gym. I don't use it before I go to the gym. And it's great. It's not greasy, and it will sink into your skin. You just allow it to dry, and it will actually sink into your skin. And that is the absolute best moisturizer I have found, because it just leaves your skin really nice. And after only using it like 2 or 3 times, you will notice a huge difference in your face, right? Like I will put it on before I go to bed, and I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh yeah, I like the way that looks. Okay, yeah. So I love using borage oil. Borage oil, whether it's in the therapy lotion or in the pills, they're both really great. And like I said, if you have adrenal fatigue, it does help with that, the borage oil. After I wash my face, and I don't carry it, but I have borage soap. So that's what I usually wash my face with in the morning, is borage soap. And I splash the cold water. And then as soon as I'm done splashing with cold water, I use witch hazel. Doesn't matter what company witch hazel you use. It doesn't matter. As long as you get some sort of witch hazel, I put it on a pad and I clean my face, because that also makes your face look really nice, and it also helps to shrink your pores. So that pretty much is my morning routine, okay, as far as that. In the evening, before I go to bed, I have this great little tool that I just love, right? It's this one. And I got it on Amazon, and it's actually for massages. But what this does is it breaks up your fascia. So when the fascia in your face starts breaking down, right, your face starts dragging. So what I like to do before I go to bed is I take some ginger oil. I just did a video like 1 or 2 ago on how to make your very own ginger oil at home. And I put that ginger oil on my face. And then what I do, what I do is I take it, and it has all those little nubbies, right? So I take it and I do this, right? And what it does is it starts breaking up that fascia, and it keeps your face nice and tight. It has the nubbies on the back, so you can see that. And that's how I do so I hold it this way, and I do over my eyes, right? Because that skin is more sensitive. And I also do underneath my eyes, okay? Yeah, listen to all that lymphatic fluid, okay? And I'll do a little bit right here. Not hard, because your thyroid is that right there. So you want to go down, and you don't want to do it hard. Okay, once I'm all done, I will do one face yoga that I found that actually works for me. So I will take whatever my ginger oil, and I'll rub it on my chin, and with my hands like this, I will go out like that, and then I'll squeeze over here. You have those 2 cords, and you squeeze them, and it's going to push down your lymphatic fluid. Okay, out with the lymphatic fluid, because all this lymphatic fluid, right? So ginger oil, it helps to move lymphatic fluid. So you're gonna use your ginger oil, push out, and then squeeze. See, not hard. You're just pushing that fluid down and pushing that fluid down. That's it. And then I wipe off my face a little bit, and I leave the oil on, and I go to bed, and that is it. Now, the one, I know, isn't that horrible? Like, is she doing a face yoga video? Because this has nothing to do with face yoga. But I'm telling you, because this is what works for me, and it works for my grandkids, it works for my kids. This is what I've passed on, right? So the one move that I have found that actually does work is you put your face all the way back, and this is for that double chin, right? Is doing this. And you try to get your bottom lip over your upper lip, right? With your face up, right? Now, if you want to take it even further, I don't want to hit the microphone. You grab right up here, right over your breast, and you push down so it stretches it even further. And then you go back even further, and you go. It's even better if you have that little thing in your mouth. But second one that I found that works for this is you go all the way up, and then you try to kiss your nose. And you hold it till the count of 30. So you would go, and that's it, till the count of 30. Everything else, what I found, you know, doing this, none of that has ever worked for me. What has worked for me is evening massage. So when I put my, I put my oil on, I will sit there and I will do this, right? And I will push the skin up where I want it, and I'll stretch these, right? And go across my forehead, because you're actually massaging the skin, and you're bringing, you can see my face, it's redder, it's more alive. It actually brings blood flow up to the skin, right? So this, if I stop it, it's not going to be the same as losing the muscle, right? So I'm actually, and I'll even lay there in bed sometimes after, if I still got oil on my face, I'll do that. Always push the lymphatic fluid to your ears. Okay, so you just want to do that. And then up, you want to push them up because they have a tendency to droop. So you want to go up, right? And then this. And I do side to side. This, up and up. Okay, that's it. That's all. That's the gist of it. That's my face yoga, all right? And this has always been my favorite tool. You can actually use it in the shower. You know, you can soap up your face and then, you know, do the strokes up in the shower if you don't have time to do it every single night, you know, whatever. And you can even use it like on your skin. If you have, you know, if you have crepey skin, you can even use it on the skin on your arms. And again, just like that. And last but not least, is my favorite, is dry brushing. Dry brushing helps move that lymphatic fluid. It kind of livens up any skin that it touches. So in the shower, I have a dry brush, and I dry brush my face. I will dry brush, you know, my arms in. I will dry brush underneath here to get all that lymph moved. I will dry brush here to get all that lymph moved here, you know, and here on the sides, because you have all those lymph nodes, right? And you want to get them going and get them moved, because anytime that wherever there is lymphatic fluid and it's stagnant, you're going to get a buildup, which sometimes looks like fat, but actually it's not fat. It's just that lymphatic is not draining. Here, right? This is what they used to do back in the day to get that lymphatic moving, right? Okay, this side, same thing, right? Here, you get all this lymphatic fluid that builds right here. This lymphatic fluid that builds up, right? Women get it right here on their hip, right? They get that little chunk of, I don't know, little excess fat right there, which looks like excess fat, but it's not. It's that lymphatic fluid that isn't draining. And some women get it back here, right? They get that nice lump, which is, it's lymphatic fluid. Get it moving, right? Even doing that, right? So I'll even do that. It's crazy. So you want to get that lymphatic system moving, and the same with fupas. You can call them fupas, you can call them curtains, you can, whatever you want to call it, but it's that little, you know, that fat that lingers. Because let me tell you, this is crazy, but I used to do sit-ups upon sit-ups and crunches and, you know, and planks, and I was like, ugh, I just can't get rid of this stupid, this, whatever you want to call that, your lower belly, right? And it's like, it's right there, under, right above the C-section, you know? And it's like, I can't get rid of the damn thing. And I used to go crazy sitting there working out. I'm like, this is driving me nuts. And I started using the ginger oil and started, you know, moving all my lymphatic system. And it's actually helped a lot, because a lot of that is just lymphatic fluid that is stuck in that belly part that is not draining, because you have tubes like right here, right? And so it has a tendency to collect right there. So it'll collect right there. Another thing is, you know, the carbs. as you're eating all these carbs, you know, a lot of people don't realize this causes a lot of inflammation in your body. You know, all these fats, all these carbs are causing a lot of inflammation. I can tell you, I can go months and months and months and months without eating bread. Like, I don't touch bread at all. And then all of a sudden I'll get this wild, crazy idea that I want a piece of bread. And I will eat bread, and I guarantee you the next day I feel like I gained 20 pounds. I feel lethargic. I feel like weighted down. I feel like my stomach grew 20 inches overnight. So all of this is playing into the face, the swelling, and everything else in your body. Okay, all this swelling. So if you want to have that nicer complexion, it's also what goes into the system. Because I'm telling you, you can eat crap all day long, and then you can do face yoga 18 hours a day, and it ain't gonna make a squat of difference. All right, so there you go. Those are my suggestions to you. You know, you can take them, you can leave them, but as far as I'm concerned, for me, face yoga was kind of a huge waste of time and money, because I did order some courses because I wanted to learn how to do it. And I didn't just order one course, I ordered 3 courses from 3 different women, one on Instagram and one on Instagram, one on YouTube, and one on Facebook. And they were like the best of the best. And I just, I don't know. Maybe it just didn't work for me. Maybe it worked for you, but it just didn't work for me. All right, so that's my thoughts on face yoga. All right, we'll see you next week. Stay happy. I'm gonna try to keep you healthy. Love and respect one another, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.